Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gassy Jack Gear Reviews. If you're a subscriber and you're wondering where I have been, I've been here. I haven't been sick or anything like that. I just haven't had a lot to report on besides really selling watches. I consolidated my collection quite a bit and brought it down to like a core 4 watches, and now I'm sort of just expanding a little bit more, seeing where it goes from here. This particular video though is on a new Seiko watch, and this is a Japanese domestic model, and the nomenclature on this one is SBDC109. There is a North American model for this as well. It's identical. I don't know if the North American model is made in Malaysia versus Japan. They typically are, but I've heard rumors that perhaps they're being manufactured in Japan as well. I don't know, but I buy the Japanese domestic models if they're just a little bit more money, because they tend to keep their value just a little bit better if you ever do go to resell it. And that, like I said, the North American model is the SPB151, and this is the Japanese domestic model SBDC109. This watch highly resembles the 6105 from a long time ago, and that model sort of was nicknamed by its fans as the Captain Willard. And if you've ever seen the movie Apocalypse Now with Martin Sheen, he plays Captain Willard. He's wearing the 6105. I don't know if the full nomenclature is 6105-8110, something like that. You put that in the comments to clarify that if I'm wrong. Seiko came out with another one, I think it was last year, and I think it even had a Grand Seiko movement. It was a higher end watch, but I think it was, around the 45-ish US dollars mark, and I was just like, I love that watch, but I don't love it that much. It was too much for, I don't know what I consider that watch to be. And it was a fantastic watch, don't get me wrong. It's just I wasn't in the market for that particular one. But when I saw it, I was like, wow, why didn't Seiko, they missed the mark here. I mean, why didn't Seiko put out, I'm not saying a very inexpensive watch, but something of quality, but that more people could afford, because a lot of people like that watch. A lot of people really refer to the Captain Willard a lot. And that when they came out with this one you can find it's on the Seiko Japan website. It's 140,000 yen, and depending on the country you're in, you can convert that for yourself. But I'm finding you can find these for about online for about $1,280 US, and that is for the Japanese domestic model, and just slightly less for the American model. So I did go for the Japanese model, like I said, because of the resale value, I believe. And I'm really pleased with this. It came in very quickly, and I just want to, I'm going to pick it up, bring it a bit closer, and I'm going to go over some of the specs that I have kind of sitting on my laptop beside me. So you'll see right up front that it has 200 meters, and when it says divers 200 meters, that's ISO certified. That's not, 200 meters, but you can maybe go swimming with it. No, this is a diver. It's a proper diver. I'll see the back even has the blue sticker still, just blue sticker on the back. But from lug to lug, it's 46.6 millimeters. From side to side, and I don't know, to be honest, I don't know, because I haven't measured. I don't know if that's including that crown or not. I'm going to guess no, because you usually don't include the crown. So I'm going to guess it's from this side to this side, excluding the crown, is 42.7 millimeters and a height of 13.2 millimeters. And it has Seiko's proprietary, it's called Shield, and it's a coating they put on. It's a hardening coating, which makes it quite scratch resistant. I had a watch, and you can see my review on a watch that I had before with this. I had the SDGM003, which is a beautiful dressier timepiece with a phenomenal dial, and that had quite the shield on it. It almost looked like it was titanium, the color. This does not. This looks like stainless steel, but I think it does have a slightly darker tint to it than if it was just regular stainless steel uncoated. You see there, it has, I think that's an aluminum insert. It's certainly not ceramic, but I had heard rumors that it may be stainless steel. I don't know why they would do stainless steel versus aluminum. One of the interesting things about this bezel, though, and I think this is intentional, look at, if you can see, look at the back here. You can see that rim standing up just like maybe 1/3 of a millimeter above that insert, that bezel insert. And what that does, and I don't know if it's by design or not, but if you hit it against something, it's going to hit the edge of the bezel. It's not actually going to touch you would have to get a direct hit, direct from above hit on that bezel insert for it to actually get scratched, because you'll notice as well that that crystal is slightly bumped up too. And if I was to run a flat object across this, you would, and run light underneath, you would see that there's a gap between that, the top of that crystal / the edge of that coin bezel over and above that insert. So I think it's going to hold up really, really, really nicely. That crystal, by the way, that is a sapphire crystal, and I want to get a close-up on it because you can see the edge of that. It's beveled. So we can get right in there. It's beveled, and it does some really cool things with the dial. Particularly if you're outside, you can see it. It really reflects along the outside, and it grabs the light and plays with it really, really nice. It's got, I'm not going to say a great bracelet, because I don't, you know what, that's one of the things I think is Seiko doesn't do as well as some higher end watches, is their bracelets. Now it's nice. It's got, you know, you can see it if you like that style. It's got sort of the curved links. It feels really, really well. What I think should be done better is this. Right off the get-go, like, watch this. Can you see how much play? I'm just pulling them, pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling. There's a lot of play right off the get-go. And to be quite honest, I've seen micro brands that are a fraction of this price get tighter tolerances. So there, you know what, Seiko, there's no excuse for that. I'm a Seiko fanboy, but I'm not going to defend stuff like that. They could do better, and they should do better. I've said that in other videos. When you can do better, you should do better. So you should do better. Along with Seiko's clasps compared to other brands. Okay, it's got a deployant. Who cares? Lots of people have deployants. Okay, it's got a milled, which I much prefer milled, and you don't see that really until you get a more expensive Seiko. Well, I shouldn't say more expensive Seikos, because it's, you know, $1,200 watch. But stamped clasp? Come on, really, Seiko? So I'll be honest, I'm getting rid of this clasp anyway. I've ordered in a strap code diver's extension, the sliding one, because I like to get a perfect fit. And I have been able to get a perfect fit, which is highly unusual. My wrists are very no fat. Okay, so what happens is that it wants to slide down. Now I have that nubby wrist. You can see that there, and I always wear them above that nub, so it prevents it from sliding down. But because I don't have any fat on my wrist, I have to get a perfect fit. And I was very lucky on this one. I took 3 links out, and I have it in the second hole there, and it does fit very, very well. But if I am dehydrated or something like that, it will slide a little bit. So that's why I ordered that diver's clasp from Strapcode, and I'll install it as soon as it gets here. The indices are square indices, and I have tended to have Seiko divers with round indices. I'm always impressed by the LumaBrite, that proprietary LumaBrite that they use. This one is green. I hear they're getting into blue LumaBrite on some watches. This is green, and I kind of prefer that. It kind of sets it apart. Like Seiko has green typically, and Rolex has blue, but whatever, to each their own. This does have pin and collar. The links are pin and collar. If you don't know what that is, it can be a bit of a pain. You're not going to do that with you're not going to be able to remove them without some tools. What it is it's a pin, and in the middle of the pin is this collar. And the collar actually fits in one of these center links. and it just fits in from the side, and then you push the pin through and it expands that collar a bit and it makes it tight. And I have just a little tool to do that. Once you do it once, it's fine, but the first time can be frustrating, believe me. But don't be afraid to get into the hobby a little bit deeper if you haven't done some modifications yourself. I'm going to put this on wrist for a second. By the way, this I should talk about the movement a little bit. The movement is automatic movement. It is hacking and hand winding as well. And it is the 6R35. That's a bump up from the 6R15 movement. It's a 70-hour power reserve, which is nice because I tend to revolve my watches quite a bit. But I might wear this for a day, maybe 2 days. This is the honeymoon period, so I'm wearing it every day right now. But I like to be able to go back in a day or two and pick my watch up and not have to wind it or set the time again, I should say. So that's nice. It does, that crystal, I should also tell you, has anti-reflective coating. I don't know if it's top and bottom, but I shouldn't even comment. So I don't know if it's top and bottom or both. Let me see, what else can I say here? The dia shield went through already. The accuracy. So the stated accuracy is plus 25 seconds to negative 15 seconds. Sorry, what did I say there? Plus 25 seconds to negative 15 seconds per day. This one is getting around 6 seconds slow. I would have preferred that to be 6 seconds fast because over time I have found that watches tend to slow down, not speed up, unless it's been magnetized. But I like getting a watch maybe about 5 seconds fast and have it settle in, in a year later, have it settle in a little bit more to a more accurate time. So I don't know if this is going to get less accurate. We'll see in time. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick review on this watch. If you have any questions, post them below. This isn't an in-depth review. I might do a more in-depth review once I have this on wrist for over a month or so. But this has been a Gassy Jack Gear review. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Check out my other videos, and I have some more coming very, very shortly. Enjoy. Bye-bye.